She texted during my father's funeral. Stop being dramatic. He was old anyway. Coming home late, going clubbing. I replied, enjoy. Then I emptied the house while she partied and left divorce papers on her pillow. When she stumbled in drunk at 4 a.m. to a completely bare home, I, 36 male, was standing at my father's graveside when the text came through. My wife Kendra, 33, had left the funeral for work emergency an hour earlier. Dad had just been lowered into the ground. My mom was sobbing into my shoulder. My phone vibrated. Kendra, still at that depressing thing? Stop being so dramatic. He was old anyway. Coming home late, going clubbing with the girls. You need to get over this moping already. It's been 3 days. 3 days since my dad died of a sudden heart attack. 3 days. My mom saw my face change. What's wrong, honey? Nothing, Mom. Just work stuff. I typed back one word, enjoy. Then I made a decision that had been building for months. This wasn't the first time Kendra showed zero empathy. But disrespecting my father's funeral? That was the line. My cousin Pete, 39M, was there. Contractor, owns his own moving company. Pulled him aside. Pete, I need your truck and your crew, right now. Now? Bro, we're at Uncle's funeral. Showed him the text. His face went dark. Okay. What do you need? Everything that's mine out of my house, today, while she's clubbing. Done. The boys are actually free. Was gonna give them the day off for the funeral, but they need the hours. My mom tried to insist I come to the reception. Made excuses about needing to handle Dad's paperwork immediately. She understood. Dad was always the handle business first type. By 2 p.m., I was at the house with Pete and 4 of his guys. Also had my brother-in-law Jerome, he's a lawyer, on speakerphone, getting emergency divorce papers ready. The thing about Kendra, she never paid attention to what was actually mine versus hers versus ours. Most of our furniture? I bought it before marriage or inherited from my grandmother. The TV, gaming systems, kitchen appliances, all purchased by me, receipts in my name. Even her precious wine collection was stored in my wine fridge that I bought myself as a birthday present. The movers were surgical. My grandmother's dining set. Kendra always said it was too old-fashioned anyway. The living room furniture I bought with my first bonus, my home office entirely. Desk, chair, computer, monitors, the works. The bedroom set, bought before marriage. Every kitchen appliance except the microwave, that was hers. All my books, vinyl records, tools, the smart TV and entertainment system. Even the good towels, wedding gift from my side. Left her clothes and makeup, neatly piled in the corner. The microwave, her yogurt maker she used once. The couch her mom gave us, ugly as sin. One folding chair from the garage, her photos and personal items. The pettiest part? I canceled the utilities effective next day, all in my name, and changed the locks. Building manager was cool about it. Lease was only in my name anyway since I'd lived there 2 years before marriage. Jerome had the divorce papers ready by 4 p.m. Uncontested divorce filing, citing irreconcilable differences. Very generous. She gets her car, still making payments, lol, her personal belongings, and nothing else. No alimony request since she makes more than me at her marketing job. Left the papers on her pillow. Well, on the floor where her pillow would have been if I hadn't taken the bed. Also left a printed copy of her text with a note. Enjoyed my evening handling my father's affairs. Your belongings are in the corner. Utilities end tomorrow. You have 30 days to move per lease requirements. Don't contact me except through lawyers. Then I went to my mom's house. We looked through Dad's photos and cried together. Like normal people do when they lose someone. Update 1. It's been 48 hours since the funeral, and hoo boy. Kendra came home at 4:17 a.m. Ring doorbell still sends me notifications. The video is her stumbling drunk, trying her key 3 times, then slowly realizing it doesn't work. The confusion, the panic, then finding the lockbox with the new key I left for her. Jerome said I had to give her access for 30 days. The scream when she got inside woke up 3 neighbors. Mrs. Patterson called the cops thinking someone was being murdered. 6 a.m., the text started. 67 of them in 2 hours. Evolution was fascinating. WTF, WTF, WTF. Where is everything? This isn't funny, bring it back. You can't do this. I was joking about your dad. You're overreacting. I'm calling the police. The police say it's a civil matter. Please answer me. You're being abusive. I'll destroy you in court. Called Jerome. He laughed. She can't destroy anything. No kids, short marriage, she makes $90 to your $70K, and you have documented cruelty during a family death. Judge'll laugh her out of court. Then came the flying monkeys. Her mom Deidre called. How could you leave my baby with nothing? She has her belongings and a folding chair. She says you stole everything. I took my property, premarital and inherited items, have all receipts. She was grieving too. Your father was like family to her. Really? Which funeral home was she grieving at last night? Tequila Sunrise or Club Paradise? Her best friend Astrid, you need therapy. This is psychotic behavior. What's psychotic is texting stop being dramatic. He was old anyway about someone's dead father during the burial. She didn't mean it like that. How did she mean it? Like stop being so sad. At his funeral. Well, when you say it like that, goodbye Astrid. But the best part? Kendra's job. See, she'd told her boss she needed 3 days off for a family emergency. Even got bereavement leave because her father-in-law, who was like a father to her, died. But remember that clubbing night? She posted it all on Instagram. Stories of shots, dancing on tables, making out with some random dude. Yeah, caught that too. Captioned, living my best life. Freedom Friday. Her coworker Heather, who follows her, saw everything. Heather, who had to cover Kendra's emergency workload. Heather, who missed her own anniversary dinner to handle Kendra's Friday presentation. Heather took screenshots. Heather sent them to their boss with the subject line, Kendra's family emergency Thursday night. Kendra wasn't fired, but she got written up and lost her quarterly bonus. That's $5 gone. She tried to contest the divorce filing, said she needed time to process the emotional trauma. Judge gave her 30 days to respond, but wouldn't delay the initial filing. Update 2 Week 2. The entitlement went nuclear. First, she tried to break back in while I was at work. Changed the locks without telling me, illegally but whatever. Got home to find the door damaged and her inside, trying to move my grandmother's china cabinet. This is still my home. For 18 more days. And breaking and entering is a crime. You can't prove I broke in. I live here. Showed her the ring footage of her literally crowbarring the door. The police are on their way. She ran. Left the crowbar. Cops took a report but said since she technically still lived there, it was complicated. But the property damage? That's a crime. Didn't press charges but documented everything. Then she got crafty. Filed a restraining order claiming I was financially abusing her by taking all the furniture. Judge took one look at my receipts and her $90K salary and threw it out. But I had to miss a day of work for court. The smear campaign started next. Facebook posts about being abandoned by a narcissist during her time of grief. What grief? She literally posted club videos the night of the funeral. My dad's sister, Aunt Ruth, absolutely destroyed her in the comments. Grief? You left Bob's funeral saying you had diarrhea, then posted yourself doing tequila shots 2 hours later. We all saw it. You're lucky all he did was take his furniture. Bob would have haunted your disrespectful forever. Post deleted within an hour. But here's where she really messed up. Remember that guy she was making out with at the club? Turns out he's married. His wife found the videos through a mutual friend. His wife is a partner at Kendra's dream company, the one she'd been interviewing with for months. Guess whose final interview got mysteriously canceled? The rage texts that night were unhinged. You ruined my career. That job was mine. You must have called them. I'll sue you for interference. Didn't respond to any of it. Just forwarded to Jerome. Then came the extinction-level stupid move. She tried to sell my dad's tools. I'd moved them from the house to Mom's garage. But Kendra knew where the spare key was hidden. She loaded up Dad's entire tool collection, some vintage stuff from his father, worth probably $15 total, and listed them on Facebook Marketplace. My uncle saw the listing. Called me immediately. I drove over with the police this time. She was in the garage negotiating with some buyer. Those are stolen property, I told the buyer. Here's the will showing they were left to me. Here's the death certificate dated 2 weeks ago. Buyer ran. Kendra tried to play it off. I thought they were communal property. Cop, ma'am, you're selling items from an estate that's still in probate. That's theft. He's my husband. It's partly mine. Ex-husband, I corrected. And no, inheritance isn't marital property. She got arrested. Actually arrested. Spent a night in jail before Deidre bailed her out. The charges were dropped eventually. Jerome negotiated that in exchange for her signing the divorce papers immediately, but her employer found out about the arrest. Another write-up. She's one strike from termination now. Update 3 Week 3. Kendra's world was crashing hard. She couldn't afford the apartment alone. Our rent was $2,200 a month, and while she made more than me, she had insane spending habits. Designer bags, weekly nail appointments, that kind of thing. Her solution? Move in with Deidre. But Deidre had conditions. No overnight guests, no drinking, church every Sunday, pay $600 a month rent. Kendra lasted exactly one Sunday at church before she was caught on the church's security camera sneaking out during service to smoke weed in the parking lot. The pastor called Deidre. Meanwhile, my mom had been quietly devastating her in the community. See, Mom's been in our neighborhood for 40 years. She knows everyone, and she made sure everyone knew what Kendra texted during Dad's funeral. The family hairdresser refused to do Kendra's hair for her important work event. The local grocery store manager, Mom's book club friend, always seemed to be out of whatever wine Kendra wanted. The gym? Suddenly her key card had technical issues every other day. Petty? Maybe. But Mom was grieving and angry. Dad had been beloved in the community. He coached Little League for 20 years. Kendra's disrespect wasn't just to me, it was to his memory. Then Kendra made her final, stupidest move. She created a fake dating profile for me. Used my photos, my real name, my real job. But the bio? Recently divorced, looking for someone to take care of me financially. No fatties, must be willing to pay for everything. I have mommy issues, and daddy just died, so I'm emotionally unstable. A coworker's wife saw it, showed him. He showed me. I was gonna ignore it, but Jerome said absolutely not. This was defamation and identity theft. We filed a police report and sued. Her lawyer, the cheapest one she could find, tried to argue it was satire. The judge wasn't amused, especially when we showed the messages she'd sent to women who matched with me, saying things like, I have herpes, and I'm actually married, want to be my side piece? She was ordered to pay me $10,000 in damages. Money she didn't have. Final update. It's been 2 months since Dad's funeral. The divorce is final. Here's where everyone ended up. Kendra, fired from her job. The dating profile thing was the final straw. Living in Deidre's basement. Working part-time at a call center. Owes me $10,000 she can't pay. Garnishing wages. Posted about being a survivor of narcissistic abuse. Got 3 likes. New boyfriend dumped her when he Googled her and found the arrest record. Tried to start a coaching business for women escaping toxic men. 0 clients. She sent one last text last week. I hope you're happy. You destroyed my life over nothing. I replied, you destroyed your own life. I just stopped cushioning your fall. Then I blocked her. Stuck with Kendra indefinitely. Had to put locks on her bedroom door because Kendra kept borrowing money. Unfriended by half her social circle who were disgusted by the funeral thing. Posted about supporting her daughter through abuse. Comments were just laughing emojis. The flying monkeys. Astrid apologized after seeing the actual funeral text. Other friends ghosted Kendra when they learned the truth. Her coworkers made a group chat specifically to share her messy posts. Living in a nice 1-bedroom closer to Mom. Seeing a therapist. Grief is real, even without the drama. Dad's tools are displayed in my new place. I think about him every time I use them. Got promoted at work. Turns out I was less stressed without Kendra. Started dating Rita from grief counseling. She gets it. Mom and I have dinner every Sunday. Mom. Still devastating Kendra through pure community networking. Started a memorial scholarship in Dad's name. Goes to grief counseling with me sometimes. Told me Dad would be proud of how I handled everything. Keeps one of the divorce papers framed in her craft room. Savage, Mom. Last I heard through the grapevine, Kendra tried to crash Dad's memorial baseball game. We hold it annually now. The entire team formed a human wall. The photos were beautiful. My uncle gave a speech about respect for the departed while staring directly at her. She left crying. Do I feel bad? No. She texted, he was old anyway, while they were lowering my father into the ground. She went clubbing while my family mourned. She tried to sell his tools. She made fake profiles. She attempted to destroy my reputation. All I did was take my furniture and leave papers on where her pillow used to be. Everything else? That was just the universe giving her exactly what she deserved. Dad always said, "Son, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time." I should have believed her the first time she complained about having to attend my grandmother's funeral because it conflicted with a spa day. But hey, better late than never. To everyone asking, yes, I kept the crowbar she used to break in. It's displayed next to Dad's tools with a label, Exhibit A in Why I'm Single and Happy. Rita thinks it's hilarious. Mom wants to bronze it. She texted from her girls' trip. "The club here is amazing. Wish you were here." Attached was a photo of her in my boss's lap. I replied, "Looks like fun." Then I forwarded the image to HR and the company's ethics board. Her fun trip ended with 2 unexpected job terminations. I, 32 male, am an analyst for a large logistics corporation. Or I was. Now I'm the guy sitting in his home office at 3 a.m. staring at a single email in his sent folder, wondering if he just detonated his entire life. My fiancée, Maya, 30, works in the same company. Different department, marketing. We've been together 4 years, engaged for 1. We live in my condo, the one I bought before we met. Life was stable, good. We were planning a wedding. Then there's Alistair, 45. He's a senior VP. He's also my direct boss. For the last 3 months, Maya's been weirdly chummy with him. I'm not the jealous type, really, but it was a lot. Laughing too loud at his terrible jokes in the break room. Staying late for networking drinks that just so happened to be at the same bar Alistair frequents. "He's a really important mentor, Leo," she'd say, brushing off my concerns. "He's giving me insight into the executive track. You should be happy for me." "He's my boss, Maya. It just looks a little weird," I said last week. "God, don't be so insecure," she snapped. "It's work. You think I can't have a male mentor? That's pretty reductive, don't you think?" "What do you say to that?" I backed off. I felt like a chump, but I let it go. This weekend she went on a girls' trip with her friend Bree. A long weekend spa and club hopping getaway. I helped her pack, kissed her goodbye at the door, told her to have fun and be safe. Tonight, around 11:30 p.m., my phone buzzed. It was Maya. "Maya, OMG, the club here is amazing. Wish you were here, it's insane." Attached was a photo. It wasn't a selfie. It wasn't a picture of the dance floor. It was a picture of her. Drink in one hand, phone in the other, sitting squarely in Alistair's lap. She was in a tiny black dress. His hand was high up on her leg. His other arm was wrapped tight around her waist. They were in a dark, plush VIP booth. He was grinning at the camera like he'd just won a prize. She was making a kissy face. I recognized the ridiculously gaudy silver bracelet on his wrist. He never takes it off. I stared at it for a full minute. The blood in my veins turned to ice water. She wasn't on a girls' trip with Bree. Or if she was, Alistair had been the destination. My first thought was, she sent this to the wrong person. This was meant for Bree. This was a brag. My second thought was, she's sitting on my boss. My third thought was, I'm supposed to marry this woman in 6 months. My hands were shaking. Not with rage, but with clarity. A cold, awful clarity. This wasn't just cheating. This was a professional and personal atom bomb. She was sleeping with my boss. A senior VP in our company. I typed back one sentence. Me. Looks like fun. She didn't reply. Maybe she finally looked at who she sent it to. Maybe she was too busy. I didn't care. I put my phone down. I walked to the kitchen and poured a glass of water, but I didn't drink it. I just stood in the dark. She hadn't just betrayed me as a partner. She had, with spectacular stupidity, compromised my entire career. How could I ever go into a performance review with Alistair again? How could I sit in a team meeting? He held my salary, my bonuses, my future at this company in his hands, and my fiancée was in his lap. This wasn't a personal matter anymore. This was a corporate liability. I walked back to my office. I opened my work laptop. I pulled up a new email to ethics.compliance@logistics-corp.com, hr.investigations@logisticscorp.com. From leo@logisticscorp.com. Subject, formal complaint, gross misconduct and conflict of interest. VP Alistair R, Senior Analyst, Leo V, Marketing ASOC, Maya K. Body, to the Ethics and Compliance Board and Human Resources. I am writing to report a severe conflict of interest and a violation of the company's non-fraternization and ethics policies. I am an analyst reporting directly to Senior VP Alistair. My fiancée, Maya, is an associate in the marketing department. I have just received indisputable evidence that Mr. Alistair's last name is in an inappropriate relationship with my direct subordinate's fiancée, who is Maya's last name, who is also an employee. This relationship creates an untenable and hostile work environment for me. It represents a significant abuse of power by a senior executive and calls into question the professional integrity and judgment of both Mr. Alice's name and Ms. Maya's last name. Attached is a photograph I received at 11:32 p.m. this evening, time-stamped. It was sent to me by Ms. Maya's last name herself. I request an immediate and confidential investigation into this matter. I am available to discuss this further at your convenience. I will be working from home tomorrow, as I no longer feel I can be in the same building as my direct supervisor. Sincerely, Leo Vance. I attached the photo, the full, high-resolution image of her on his lap. I read the email over twice. It was cold. It was professional. It was completely and totally devastating. I hit send at 12:15 a.m. I went back to the kitchen and made a pot of coffee. I knew I wasn't sleeping. The sun is starting to come up and my phone has been silent. Her fun trip is still going on. She has no idea what's waiting for her when she lands. The title says this ended with 2 terminations. It's Monday morning now. I got an automated reply from the ethics board. A real person will be in touch. The bomb is airborne. I'm just waiting for the sound. Update 1, it's been 2 weeks. I feel like I've aged a year for every day. The Monday after I sent the email was silent. I logged in from home as I'd stated. My email was a ghost town. No messages from Alistair. No where are you from my team. It was eerie. At 10 a.m., I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. It was a woman from the ethics board. Her voice was all business, zero emotion. Mr. Vance, thank you for your discretion. We have received your complaint. We are taking it extremely seriously. A formal investigation has been opened. Please do not discuss this with anyone, and I mean anyone. Not your colleagues, not your friends, and especially not Miss Maya's last name or Mr. L's last name. Is that clear? Crystal clear, I said. Good. For the duration of the investigation, you will be on paid administrative leave. Please do not log into the company network. We will be in touch. She hung up. Paid leave. Wow. They weren't messing around. The rest of the week was torture. I deep cleaned the condo. I went to the grocery store at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday just because I could. I reorganized my garage. I did everything possible to not think about Maya, who was due back on Tuesday night. I didn't hear from her. No, I'm home. No, I'm so sorry. I made a mistake. Nothing. Her flight must have landed. She just didn't come home. Then, Friday afternoon, I got a text from a colleague. Dude, what the hell is going on? Alistair is gone. What do you mean, gone? I typed, my heart pounding. Like gone. Security was at his desk. His name is out of the company directory. There's an all-hands meeting for our division in 20 minutes. An hour later, my phone lit up again. They just sent a company-wide email. Alistair last name is no longer with the company, effective immediately. And I checked the marketing directory. Maya is gone too. Her name is gone. Leo, what did you do? I didn't answer. I just sat on my couch. The title of this post. It was real. They were both fired. The quiet in the condo was deafening. That's when I heard a key in the lock. Maya came in, dragging her suitcase. The one I bought her for our anniversary. She didn't look like someone who had just been fired. She looked furious. Leo, she said. Her voice was low and shaking. Maya, I said, not getting up. I have 27 missed calls from HR, she said. I have an email from the ethics board saying I'm terminated, for a morality clause violation. What did you do? I just looked at her. What did I do? You sent me a picture, Maya, of you on our boss's lap. Did you think I was just gonna, frame it? It was a mistake. She shrieked. I sent it to the wrong person. It was a stupid drunk mistake. You were supposed to be the man. You were supposed to call me, yell at me. We were supposed to talk about it. Talk about what? I said, finally standing up. Talk about the fact that you're sleeping with my boss, the man who controls my entire career? Or talk about the girls' trip that was just a cover for you to go play with him? He was going to get me a promotion, she screamed. Tears of rage, not regret, streaming down her face. A real promotion, into management. He said I had executive potential. I'll bet he did, I said. And you ruined it. You ruined everything. You couldn't just keep your mouth shut. You had to go to HR like a child. You got me fired, Leo." The entitlement was staggering. It was like I was looking at a stranger. She wasn't sorry she cheated. She was sorry she got caught, and she was furious that I had protected myself instead of protecting her. "You're right, Maya," I said. "I did. You and Alistair created a hostile work environment for me. You put me in an impossible position, so I removed the problem. You're both the problem." "My career is over," she sobbed. "Alistair's is over. He's going to be blacklisted, all because you were jealous." "Okay," I said. I went to the hall closet and pulled out 3 large trash bags. I walked back to the living room and threw them at her feet. "Get your stuff, I want you out." Her head snapped up. "What? You're fired. You're not my fiancé. You don't live here anymore. Get your things and get out of my home." "You can't do that," she sputtered. "This is my home. I've been living here for 2 years. I have rights." "You have the right to get your makeup and your clothes and leave," I said. "No," she screamed. "I'm not going anywhere. You'll have to evict me, you bastard. You'll have to get a lawyer and evict me. See how HR likes that." She picked up her suitcase, wheeled it into the guest room, and slammed the door. I heard the lock click. I just stood there. She was right. She'd been here long enough. She had established tenancy. I couldn't just throw her out. I sat back down on the couch. This was not the clean victory I'd imagined. This was a new kind of war, and the enemy was sleeping in my guest room. Final update. It's been 3 months. 3 months of the most surreal, tense, and utterly miserable time of my life. But it's over. I'm sitting in my condo, and it is completely and totally silent. The eviction threat was real. My lawyer, yes, I had to get one, confirmed it. Because she'd been here over 30 days and received mail, she was a month-to-month tenant, fiancé or not. We had to serve her with a formal 30-day notice to vacate. So for 30 days, we lived in the same house. It was a cold war. I slept in my bedroom. She stayed in the guest room. She'd be in the kitchen when I needed to make dinner, humming to herself like nothing was wrong. She used my utilities, my internet, my shower. She ate my food. Her entitlement was off the charts. "You know, you're really the one at fault here," she said one night while I was trying to watch the news. I ignored her. "No, really," she said, standing in front of the TV. "If you had just been more ambitious, like Alistair, I wouldn't have had to look for mentorship elsewhere. You kind of drove me to him." I just stared at her. "You need to move, Maya." "You're so cold," she scoffed. No wonder I was unhappy. But the real dirty trick didn't come from her. It came from Alistair. 2 weeks into the 30-day notice, I was served with papers. Alistair was suing, not the company. He was suing me for tortious interference with a contract and defamation. His claim? That he and Maya were just close friends and colleagues. That the photo was a harmless, celebratory moment taken out of context. That I, in a fit of jealous rage, had maliciously misrepresented this platonic friendship to HR and the ethics board, causing him to lose his job and suffer irreparable damage to his reputation. He was seeking $500,000 in damages. I had to hire a second lawyer, a civil defense attorney. My administrative leave was over, but my career was still in limbo. The company's lawyers were focused on defending the company from Alistair's wrongful termination suit, which he'd also filed. But they made it clear that my civil suit was my problem. I was bleeding money. I was paying a mortgage on a condo my squatter ex was living in, and I was paying 2 sets of lawyers. I felt like I was drowning. This was the real-life part they don't show in the movies. The part where the villain tries to bleed you dry. I was at my breaking point. I had to get her out. The 30-day notice was up, and she was still there. We were filing for the formal eviction hearing. As part of that, my lawyer advised me to have a witness and to professionally pack and catalog all her belongings to be moved into storage the moment the eviction was granted. This weekend, my brother and I started the process. We went into the guest room. She was out meeting with her lawyer, aka getting coffee with Bree. We were bagging up her clothes, her books, her mountains of shoes. In the back of the closet was a box. It wasn't shoes, it was old electronics. And in it was her old work laptop. Not the new one the company had issued her, but one from a few years ago. "Just label it old laptop and put it in the box," my brother said. "Hold on," I said. I don't know why. A hunch. I opened it, the battery was dead, I plugged it in, it booted up, slowly, and it logged right in. No password. The desktop was a mess of old files, but one folder caught my eye. It was named Alistair Personal. My heart stopped. I clicked it. It wasn't love letters. It was work. It was spreadsheets, client lists, marketing pipelines, internal cost analysis documents, stuff that was way above Maya's pay grade. And then I saw the subfolders: competitor analysis, Apex, Nuco pitch deck, client transition plan. My blood ran cold. Alistair wasn't just mentoring her, he was planning to leave and start his own competing firm. And he was using Maya, my fiancée, an employee in the marketing department, to systematically steal proprietary data, client lists, and financial models from our company. The promotion she was so mad about losing? It wasn't a promotion at our company, it was her buy-in to his new one. This wasn't just an affair. This wasn't just an ethics violation. This was corporate espionage. This was a multi-million-dollar theft, and she was his accomplice. The photo she sent me. It wasn't just a drunk mistake. It was the ultimate, arrogant, we're winning brag from a woman who thought she was untouchable. I stopped packing. I took the laptop. I called my civil attorney. Stop the eviction filing, I said, and cancel my appointment for Monday. Instead, I need you to set up a meeting with the general counsel of my company. And I mean now. The meeting was on Monday morning. Me, my lawyer, and a room full of stony-faced company attorneys. I put the laptop on the table. I told them what I found. I gave them the password. An IT security guy plugged it in. His eyes went wide after about 5 minutes of clicking. He looked at the general counsel and just nodded. The general counsel looked at me. Mr. Vance, you've been on administrative leave. I am happy to inform you that your leave is over. You're being promoted with a 20% raise, effective immediately. We are also absorbing 100% of your legal fees related to Mr. Alistair's last name's civil suit. I almost fainted. What happens now? I asked. What happens now, the general counsel said, is that we are filing a multi-million-dollar civil suit against both Mr. Alistair's last name and Miss Strang for theft of trade secrets, breach of fiduciary duty, and conspiracy. His lawsuit against you will be resolved, and we will be turning this laptop and its contents over to the district attorney's office to pursue criminal charges. Alistair's suit against me was dropped within 24 hours. The company's lawyers took over the eviction. With the new evidence that Maya had been using my home to participate in a criminal conspiracy against the company, they got an emergency hearing. The judge granted an immediate writ of possession. She had 24 hours. I was there when the sheriff's deputies showed up. Maya was in the living room, on the phone, probably with her mom. "Ma'am, you have to vacate the premises immediately." "You can't do this," she shrieked, looking at me. "Leo, tell them, this is our home. You can't." "It's not your home, Maya," I said. The deputies were already moving her bags to the door. "And it's not our anything." You did this," she screamed, finally realizing. "The laptop, you found it. You couldn't just let me go. You had to ruin my life." "You were stealing, Maya," I said, my voice quiet. "You and Alistair, you weren't just cheating on me. You were committing a crime. You did this to yourself." "Where am I supposed to go?" she wailed as the deputies guided her out the door. "You've taken everything from me. I have nothing." "You should have thought about that before you hit send." "Ping," I said. I closed the door. I locked the deadbolt. I leaned against it and just breathed. It's over. Alistair and Maya are both facing a massive corporate lawsuit and a criminal investigation. Their careers aren't just over. They're incinerated. They're both buried so deep in legal trouble, it's doubtful they'll ever get out. As for me, I'm back at work. I have a new title. I have a new boss who seems to actually respect me. The condo is quiet. It's empty, and I've never been more relieved. It's not a happy ending. I lost 4 years of my life to a lie. But it's a just ending. I got my condo back, I got my career back, and they got exactly what they deserved.